guys, welcome back. So if you're new here, my name is Dina, and before we start this video, this is how everything looks in the house when my boys leave. So, those of you who are new here, I want to give a little bit of backstory. So, hello, my name is Dina. I am currently on 2 different custody schedules. So, this is the story. He has a child from a previous relationship. I have a child from a previous relationship, 3 weeks apart in age. I know, crazy, right? So I wanted to get on here, give you guys a little bit of cleaning motivation, showing you guys realistically how it looked from going from a family of 6 to going from a family of 4. And not only that, I wanted to be a little bit more open, a little bit more transparent. I really wanted to open up with you guys and just be more honest and more vulnerable here, because you guys have told me that you guys do have kids or kids around the same age as mine, and we're only going to get to know each other if we have those vulnerable moments. So I'm going to start off with my ex, and then we'll get into my husband's ex. So my ex and I haven't always had the best relationship. When I was pregnant, when we had our child, I was 19 years old. We had him our senior year of high school. It was rough at that age of being a young couple, getting married, wanting to start a new life, having no money, having a baby. It was rough all around. And don't get me wrong, my child is a blessing, and I would do it all over again to have him. So my ex and I haven't always had the best relationship, and I feel like it's because there's been a lot of anger, there's been a lot of hurt on both of our parts. And I'm not going to sit here, I'm not going to bash him, I'm not going to bash anyone, because it doesn't help anyone. I also wanted my channel to show you guys that there are different layers. So my ex and I were together for about, I think, 3 or 4 years, and it just didn't work out. So he does have a partner. I believe they're engaged. She has been in my child's life since he's been 1 year old, and my ex and I broke up when my son was 1 year old. So there is an overlap. And I have tried for many years to get along with his partner. It hasn't worked out. And I'm going to give you guys the most recent thing that has happened, which is about 4 years ago, I know. But because of this and because of a lot of things transpired, we don't really talk. So this was around COVID time. And again, I'm not trying to bash anyone. This is my side of the story. This is my truth. I want to connect with you guys on a different level. And although my channel is not about like step parenting life, there are different layers, and I do want to include those different layers. And I also wanted to show you guys that there's a drastic change between a family of 4 and a family of 6. Okay, now going back to the story. So this was around COVID time, and there was only 2 tickets and only 2 parents allowed to go inside for the kindergarten graduation. And basically it landed on his dad's day, in my opinion, and in my ex's opinion, that both tickets belonged to him and I, which I agreed. His partner did not agree, because it landed on my ex's day. She believed that the ticket belonged to her. So she reached out to me asking for my ticket. A lot of things happened, a lot of things transpired, a lot of things were said. And since that day, we're cordial, like we'll say hi to each other if we know each other. But at the end of the day, it's done. The relationship, I've tried for so many years and nothing seems to work. And I have learned in therapy, because I am in therapy, that sometimes things do not work out the way it is. My ex and I, on the other hand, have always had a bumpy relationship. And I honestly think it's due to immaturity on both of our ends, because we were both so young. And I think that there was a lot of hurt. There was a lot of anger. I think it was a weird time because I left the relationship, but he was angry with me for leaving the relationship, but he had another partner at the same time. So it was just a mess, and I didn't want to be a part of that mess. So there was just a lot that transpired. I am happy to say that this year has been a year of change. I have learned in therapy to set boundaries, to really speak up for myself. And this is what I said when I was cleaning out my closet, is I'm not selfish for wanting to put my needs first. I'm not selfish for asking to set healthy boundaries and to respect my space. Ever since I put those boundaries, I have seen a drastic change in our relationship. There has been better communication. There has been times where he is really on top of it. He recently, so we're 40 minutes apart from each other. He recently bought a house like about 13 to 14 minutes from me, getting built. That's why the boys changed school as well. And I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy because my son is going to have his own room, his own space, because he hasn't had that before at his dad's side. And it honestly, it warms my heart, because all I want to see is him do better so my son can have better. Oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to hold it in. And I'm so happy to see that. That's all I ever wanted. That's all I ever cared about, was to see him in a better position, to be able to provide in a better position physically and mentally. And to see that and to see the growth that he has done on his part is really amazing. It's really beautiful because that's all I ever wanted. And although his partner and I do not get along, I am happy that we have came so far from all the anger, from all the hurt, from all the insults in order to have a better, healthy co-parenting relationship. And for those of you who are struggling with co-parenting, it does get better. But the person has to want to do better. And that's what I've learned. You can't push someone. You just kind of have to take a step back and just say, okay, all right, well, it is what it is. And setting those healthy boundaries. I know I have found it hard to find a community where we could all speak and not bash each other, but just speak in a healthy way of saying, oh my God, this really sucks. Co-parenting really sucks. I don't think anyone goes into having a child and saying, yeah, I want to split my child 50-50. I want to only spend every other year with my child for my birthday holiday. So happy to say we are in a much better place. Things are looking really, really great. And I'm taking the time to really enjoy this time. So I do feel like I'm talking your guys' ear off. So I'm going to be putting on a little bit of music and then we'll come back talking about the other ex.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I've got my hands on your body. So tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do, 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 like I do.
guys need a stain remover, try this one. I was just showing you guys this spray that's really, really amazing. But going back to the story, that is my ex and I's story. I could definitely do like a sit down if you guys want. But anyways, now let's talk about the other ex, which is my husband's ex. So the relationship between my husband's ex, this is the worst it's been in all the years. Okay, so I've known my stepson since he's been 1 year old. I got with my husband when he was close to turning 3 years old. So both of the boys were about to turn 3 years old. I had my son, Rain, which is the youngest one. I had him when the boys turned 4. So the older boys and Rain are 4 years apart. And then Rain and Stella, which is my daughter, they're 2 years apart. So Rain is the one that's closest in age to everyone, basically. So this is what transpired. Years ago, I was pregnant with Rain. I needed help, and my husband was going to help me. Well, was going to help me with my older son, Ricky. I needed some help, so he was just like, okay, all right. And at the same time, his ex had reached out a couple of weeks after saying that she needed help with the specific date that I had asked for help already. And he was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to, be doing this for my stepson. And I don't want to bash anyone. What basically, to sum it up, my husband was told that it's not his biological son, that it's not his kid, and that he doesn't have to worry about it or help me out because there's no blood connection. Couple months later, apologies were made for that being said. And I'm a true believer that people make mistakes in life. And how can I expect people to forgive me if I don't forgive them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe in good karma and bad karma. And the apology seemed sincere. So I was like, okay, people can make mistakes. People can say things out of anger. Okay, I get it. Things started to get a little bit better. Recently, this year, it has been the worst it's ever been. So basically what happened was, so my husband's ex is now with a partner. Never had a partner before in all the years that my husband and I have been together. It's always been her, but now she has a partner. They got pregnant. Now the roles were reversed. I was treated really, really badly when I was pregnant with Rain. And I don't know if it was because it was just, I get it, it's hurt. It's seeing someone else have your life. I don't know if it was that, but I was treated pretty badly. The custody schedule had changed when I was pregnant with Rain. Basically, she saw my stepson every other weekend because she decided to quit her job and go to school. And my husband was basically told that he needed to take care of his kid and that she was only going to be able to take care of him every other weekend. So we had more responsibility. I've learned in therapy now that we were under a lot of stress. Communication needs to happen where it's like, are you able to do this? Not, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this. My husband has gotten to a point where he's very, very aggravated because over the years, we have made sure that all doctor's appointments were made. Him and I have been able to work everything out. Doctor's appointments have been made. Just a lot. It's been a lot on my husband for the past couple years where he has taken on a lot of responsibility. And he's getting to a point where he just wants better and he's not seeing better. And now that more responsibility is being added, he's scared that where does that leave my son, basically. Also, because she became pregnant, she now wanted us to help her out. But because she was a high-risk pregnancy, us to take care of my stepson for about a week because she was going to be hospitalized, which I understand. But I remember my husband asking for help, and when I was pregnant with Rain and being told no, and that she's too busy, you figure it out. So now that the roles are reversed, and knowing how badly I was treated, knowing how we were about to have a baby, and all of a sudden my husband gets hit with a $300 insurance bill and gets told you pay it, even though he was paying 100% of daycare. Maybe this is me spilling too much, but again, I want to be vulnerable with you guys. Basically, and I'm sorry if I'm everywhere, and it's hard to get through this, like I'm shaking right now because it's co-parenting is so hard. I just wish it was better. But anyways, basically my husband paying for everything, $1,300 a month. And she was only seeing her son every other weekend. And we couldn't get any help when I was hospitalized. Now that the roles were reversed, she wanted us to help. And I'm like, wow, how ironic that now that the roles are reversed. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I had a hard time because a lot of things were done to me during that pregnancy. Things that shouldn't be done to a pregnant woman. Things that shouldn't have been said. Things that pregnant women don't need to be worried about. So my husband ended up saying that we are not going to help her. And not because she didn't help, but because lies were made about both of us. Like she she came to me and told me lies about my husband, I didn't tolerate it. I was just like, okay, all right, this is obviously a problem between you two, even though I knew it was lies. And then she had told my husband lies about me, and my husband is up to a point where he just doesn't even want to be involved anymore. He doesn't want to do anything anymore. He basically wants to go by the custody agreement and not getting told what to do. And this is the worst it's been, because there is no communication unless there needs to be communication. There is no relationship whatsoever. There is no nothing. And it always seems like it's a bittersweet, because I am happy where my ex and I have come along, how hard we have both worked. And then to see my husband's relationship, just to at least be cordial, just to at least have some kind of relationship where there could be open communication, is just a lot. And when people lie about you, when people say stuff, it's not cool. It's not okay. And I don't know why people do that. And then to go back to the other person and then say, well, she said this about me, well, he's saying this, but it's not true. And then we're both looking at each other like, okay, why are lies being made up? It's very concerning. But the relationship is bad. It just goes to show you that things could go up and down, things could be bad, things could happen. But needless to say, I have learned that life is up and down, and maybe we'll get to a point where everything is better, but right now things are not good.
Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that horrid bitter. Maybe you taste different. Hold up, baby. I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble and everlasting ego. I guess it never hit you. Our conversation takes two, paying it some interest from time to time. Inside all that greatness and all of your adventures, you're all alone. Hold up, baby. I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble and everlasting ego. Oh, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Oh. Remember that song we used to sing in the rain? My God, the ice cream we used to consume. Somehow we lost it all when we left that room. Maybe we should have seen that we were both betrayed. What if we could?
I hope you guys love my little TED Talk. I know I ranted through this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this of me just opening up to you guys, showing you realistically what my house looks like, and then giving you a backstory about what's going on with me, what's going on in my life, and what's going on with my parenting struggles. I want to thank you so much for being here, taking the time to watch my video. I will see you in the next one, and have a good day. And remember, if you're struggling with co-parenting, my ex and I are proof that things do get better.
To that room, my son.